exciting.
All right. So, Colleen.
Yes, Dr. Todd.
What inspires you?
Art. Why do you ask?
Well, I think that's because it's the topic of our YouTube video.
Yay!
Why art?
Why art matters to
Why art
people
matters.
like us who have thyroid issues. Art has been such a great outlet.
And we had a super fun time just this last week at a concert. Eric Johnson is a famous guitarist and
Almost as good of a guitar player as Todd is.
Sure,
I will
yeah.
say. Todd's in a band. He is an artist. I love this aspect to him because besides being a psychologist, the world's greatest, he has always kept art in his life, and he's introduced me to a lot of art forms that I'm not used to. Music, primarily. He hears things I don't hear, and he's really opened that world up to me. Gosh, everything. You're so
biased.
full of art.
You're too biased. I'm not very good at guitar, but I do love to listen to guitar. And we went to this concert, and it was just a really moving experience. Everyone, there was such a great vibe in the room.
Oh, it was like we were one. And we went in, and I'd had a super stressful, sad day, and I was just like my soul needed to be fed, and we got these great tickets in the second row. You can see us on his Instagram.
On his Instagram.
We're like, yeah, Todd's head is so easy to see because it's so big and curly.
Giant
head. And it was a magical moment for us, and especially for me at that day. And I actually felt like the universe gave me a gift that day because, like I said, it was a sad day. And I went to that concert. I didn't know Eric Johnson. Todd had played me his music, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. But I had, from the first song, my thyroid, my eyes were hurting really bad. I have Graves' eye disease. And from that very first song, it just pulled me in. And I was forgetting everything that had happened that day. And I was in the moment. I was in this whole different world that he brought me to, and it really reminded me of the supernatural power of art to heal.
Well, I remember too, because you were adorable as always. But we started the show with you being stressed, and then it just kind of completely melted away, and you had such a great time. And it did remind me of that's great that we're doing this topic because it's so important.
It's interesting when you are in those dark days, and for some reason lately, the last few weeks, I've had this dark cloud over me, but yet the universe is rewarding me at the same time more than ever because they're giving me gifts like the Eric Johnson concert. Some of my favorite writers have come back into my world and given me a message of hope. So I firmly believe that when you put out rainbows and sunshine or whatever, it comes back to you, even if you're misunderstood because you have Graves' rage, or you're tired, or your eyes hurt and you look at people funny. Like I'm probably looking at you right now because my eyes have been hurting a lot. I have thyroid eye disease. But the universe also is telling me right now, keep fighting the good fight, and I will be there for you. And I absolutely feel this YouTube channel has been one of the biggest gifts I've had as a storyteller. Just if it helps one person, that's kind of how I roll with every story I tell. And I also know I got the best psychologist in the world, and that's the greatest gift of my life. And he brought us our children, which is the greatest gift of our life.
What are you saying, Dolly?
Just that I want to eat your soul.
Whoa, okay, let me try. I want to try.
Yeah.
Okay, let me practice. Look over here.
Hi, Rudy. How's it going?
Ooh, you're good, Bridget.
Well, I'm having a hard time because I know I'm supposed to look at the camera, but I want to look at your beautiful eyes. But the light really.
And
you are art.
Oh, God,
wow.
You're so sweet. But you do cry more when you have Graves' disease, but I think you feel more as well. And that can be a gift. It can be your art that you give to the world.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm not an actress.
You're so cute.
That's not my art.
Okay, very good. Next.
Hi, I'm Colleen Kenny, and I did Handle with Care, celebrating the work of Carol Chenoweth. I didn't know anything about the old gentleman until I went there that day to film him, and just, magic happens sometimes.
So, Todd, Dr. Todd, I want to ask you, what are your 4 tips for bringing art and letting it heal you, when you have thyroid disorders?
Tip number 1, find what inspires you. It can be either creating something artistic or just appreciating it, just consuming it. Either one, it's a type of creativity. So tip number 2, choose something that naturally motivates you. You want to make sure that you're not going through some kind of drudgery period, although instruments, things like guitars and piano, take time to learn, but you don't want to make it so that 3 months, 6 months later, you're losing motivation because you don't like practicing. If you end up just listening to guitar music or listening to piano music and that's your creativity, that's great. Man, you're cute.
You're looking at me. You're supposed
I
to
am looking at
camera.
you, darn. You're distracting me with your Stevie Nicks very form-fitting t-shirt. Darn you! Okay, I'm going to try to focus now. Tip number 3, surround yourself with art and creativity. Go to that photo gallery if you like photography. Go listen to those concerts if you like music. Go out and, go to the Jeep Club for people who modify their Jeeps and put LED lighting under them. Go out to whatever animates and inspires you, but, go into it. Don't just sit in the corner and practice your piano alone. Really get out and
be part of it.
be part of it. Thank you. Yeah. That's a,
I think you immerse yourself in any
Yes.
form of art, even if it's somebody else doing
hey,
it.
who's on the camera
Oh,
here?
sorry.
I have some guitars around me back here. They help remind me to practice. I'm a big fan of something called stimulus management. That is, if you want to do a behavior, you have to make it easy to engage in that behavior. So I want to make it so I can just pick up that guitar and practice it for 15 minutes whenever I want. If you're going to take up something like piano playing, make sure that your keyboard is out and you're ready to sit down and just start to practice. If you like to listen to music, make sure you've got your Amazon Echo out or whatever product you use, or your speakers or your playlist, so that you can listen to what you want. These things don't even have to cost much. If you're close to a university, they often have student and faculty recitals where you can go listen to something for free or for very cheap. There's a lot of galleries that are free as well. So surround yourself. That's good. I'll surround myself with Colleen. We're really not meant to be solo creatures. We're meant to be around other people. We're meant to communicate. And also, at a real basic level, if you're part of a community, an artistic community, that's also going to reinforce and help you stay motivated with your art. So if you like painting, join a painting club. If you like to play music and you get good enough, join a band. I'm in a band. I'm not very good. I'm like the charity case in the band, despite what Colleen says. But that helps keep me motivated to practice and also keeps me motivated. And every once in a while, well, the rest of the band sounds great, but every once in a while, even I don't sound so bad in the band. And then that's a real magical moment. So be part of a community. It's anything that you care about. There's lots of even virtual communities online, people who share music ideas, share writing, share photography. I'm more of a fan of getting together with people, just physically, because there's a lot of positive social vibes that go with that. So if you can do that physically, that would be great.
Todd, okay, as a psychologist, I of course say it's magic.
Yes.
Art's magic. And
Yes.
you say it's scientifically based, that does something to your brain. Can you talk about that as a psychologist?
Well,
as a
you make
scientist?
me sound like a robot because it is scientifically based. Well, yes. So I believe in the magical as well because I'm married to you. But no, there are all kinds of benefits. Get into art not because there's benefits, but because it's a great thing to do. Do it because you love it and enjoy it. But it just so happens that there are very, very specific positive things that happen. Number one, you create more positive emotions. They're called euthymic emotions. They're emotions like happiness, calmness, joy, and we can't be joyful every second of the day. Would be terrible, actually, but it creates a lot more of those kind of emotions. So that's a practical outcome. Second, very practical outcome is it helps your physical health. So you've already got Graves' disease, you've already got hypothyroidism, you're going to be tired already. You don't need to be having even more stress. that's going to make you more exhausted. And so even though you might be very busy with something that's creative, you're going to notice that, hey, I'm busy, but I actually feel better physically. It's because those positive emotions, you're not evoking what's called the stress response. It's a physical response that taxes your system and burns up a lot of energy in a bad way. So you're just going to physically feel better the more creative and animated you are in that realm.
Wow, that's really good. Do you
Why,
notice how
thank you,
when we
Kali.
go dancing, I can dance forever and I
Woo!
can fall asleep?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, we take dance lessons, Colleen and I, and she is an amazing dancer, and that's super fun. But, you know, even if we've had a pretty exhausting day, that gives us energy. I'm sure in some other YouTube video we're going to be talking about physical activity and exercise, because exercise is another thing that gives you energy. It doesn't take energy. Dancing does both. It's creative and it is exercise, and it gives you both incredible physical energy and incredible emotional energy. And then I just can't quit smooching on you, kissing on you. I don't know what. I mean, you're dancing out there. The other couples must hate our guts because I'm always like extra dipping you, which isn't
We're
even part of the
pathetic.
dance that we're
But you know
We're
what?
practicing.
Dance like, what is that phrase? Dance like nobody's watching.
no one puts baby in a corner. Art and creativity, it's what makes us human. It what distinguishes us from animals. I think there are studies where even animals can be creative, but it's really our thing. And so it just hurts me when I see people that they don't have any creative outlet. I like to watch TV as much as the next person. It's fun, and you know, if you're watching inspiring kind of stuff like documentaries, that's completely cool too. But too much passive intake of something that's not creative, that's spoon-fed for you, that's just not good for us. And so being artistic and creative helps us really explore amazing parts of us that we didn't know exist. It helps us touch emotions that we didn't even realize we were feeling or that are good for us to feel. It's just amazing. So there just isn't anything that it doesn't help with, done in a healthy manner. Now, I do want to say that if someone's creativity goes down only dark themes, then they become just like dark thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're creating something that is just perseverating or going over and
That's
over a
great
negative
point.
theme, then that's going to keep your thoughts dark and your emotions dark. So you're not trying to be happy all the time, because creativity is really about exploring all emotions. I like to tell people there aren't any bad emotions. It's just what you do with them. And in fact, trying to not feel emotions is an unhealthy thing. But
Well, let's let these people go. And thank you, my beauty thyroid beast people. I love you. We love you. Let
Yes,
us
we
know
do.
if there's any topic you want us to cover, and we will try to do our best to help. And thank you.
thank you.